I live in my car because I can't see paying thousands of dollars for something that I can provide for myself: shelter, stability, control of the temperature, a place to clean myself, nutrition, and a way to continue to fulfill for my many clients and continue to earn without any disruption. They know nothing of the fact that I live in a car. It doesn't matter. I fulfill the needs for my clients, and where I live or how I live never comes up with anyone. So by reducing the amount of things that I own, I'm going to move into a van. My idea of the van is something very minimal. And here's how all of this applies to all of us. I'm a child of the 70s and the 80s. And when I was growing up, I received the same education in American public schools in Colorado, that I'm to get a good job by furthering my education, getting some military experience. I will qualify for some things and continue to build my skill set and apply myself, and one day I can have retirement. Well, I never embraced that idea. So for me, it was never really an idea of build a retirement account, reach a point where I stopped working and just traveled around and hung out because I didn't have to work. I never really understood that. But now it's starting to occur to me, and I'm 57 years old now. It's starting to occur to me that I can walk away from the continual pursuit of more money in order to have a bigger house and a bigger car and better things. And I can actually have a better life and better things and walk away from the idea of a big house and retirement in the common sense. I've come to understand, and how this applies to all of us, that things are really temporary, that the job is a temporary thing, your business is a temporary thing, but the skills, as long as you don't lose your brain or lose your ability to actually do things, the skills you get to keep. So by learning to adapt to the situation, develop multiple streams of income, stay mobile, reduce the amount of things that you own, when you get fired from a job or you lose a client, you know that things change. You know that these things are going to happen, but you're more prepared because you don't have high expenses. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have the things that are tied into these contractual obligations, car payments, credit cards, personal loans. And you've eliminated all of those things so that when change comes, which it does, jobs are lost, especially these days. Look at the incredible price of housing just to have an apartment, just to have a home. It's crazy. It's crazy how much stuff costs. And as long as you have a strong skill set and an ability to create value for somebody else and create something that they'll pay you cash for because it solves a need or a problem that they have with a strong solution, then you're going to be in a strong position to continue to earn income when you have the relationship with the client. So I have a job that's one of my clients, and I have 8 other clients, right? So I'm servicing all of those clients from a mobile platform without actually having a lease or an apartment or a standard house situation. So I moved into my vehicle only a few months ago, and it's a 2011 Acura MDX. It's a mini SUV, and it's currently parked and needs mechanic work. So in the day I drive this around, and I can drive the MDX, but it's currently staying in a single spot, I move it around every 3 or 4 days because it needs some front end work. And I'm also utilizing a VA program where I've got temporary housing. So I've got a room, and I share a room with another veteran, and we are participating in this VA program, and I've got housing temporarily. It's not ideal, but again, I'm not paying for housing. So I continue to earn, bring the money in. The vehicle will be repaired. I'll move eventually into a van and continue to shrink my obligations and shrink my footprint, the amount of things that I own, the size of my gear collection, so that everything fits well and I can do it all from an E350 platform. So developing multiple clients works well. When another client of mine called me this morning, haven't talked to her in about 6 months. She said, I've got a job, let's get this done. So we're now in the process of scheduling that next job. And I've got a job I'm currently working on. I'll turn it in this weekend, beginning of next week, and I'll get paid for that job, which is a fairly large job for another client of mine. And I've got more jobs scheduled, more jobs coming up, and I've got the day job, which I'm actually on right now in between calls, and I'm about to go to this person's house, finish for the day, and then I'll have my time back to work more on my own business. So it's doable, and I could pay rent, but that money that I'm saving is helping me pay down my debt and invest more in, I'm going to hire a virtual assistant. I'm going to hire a VA because I'm building a platform of editing service and fulfillment that I'm using inside my own business that can then be used inside of other people's businesses so that I can fulfill for them. And one of the things that I did this morning to build another form of income is there's a local photography group that has instructors, and I signed up for a course in September for architectural framing, where we're going to go down and shoot the art museum. And I'm going to get tips from another photographer on how they would do it and how they would set the lighting, and which is great, man. It's a great way for me to learn, but I paid $59 for that. And if I show up and there's another 7 people there, and just about all of the courses on this photographers club with different instructors are about $59. But I want to build a course for $100 where I will take you with your camera, without your camera, and you can shadow me and shoot real estate photography, learn about bracketed photography, shoot an entire listing, sit down, upload the photos, watch the photos be edited while we have a question and answer moment, and 20-30 minutes later we'll pull the photos down and you will have images. You will have images ready to serve a client, which is exactly how I do it. And with a few extra steps of learning editing and learning cropping and how to adjust your frame and do other things in software like Photoshop and Lightroom, you can continue to advance and serve clients. But with what I will teach you in one day, over 3 hours, you'll get the knowledge and the know-how to start serving clients immediately. I'll show you everything in 3 hours, $100. I want to run that with a class of 6 to 8 people, and I would love to do that once a month. And it would be something really great to be able to develop another stream of income while teaching other people. So part of that is I applied to teach at this photographers club, and I signed up for a course a couple of months out, that will actually teach me things, and I'll walk away with something, a portfolio piece or something, and then just the capability to start to meet other photographers and network with others. There's a lot of value in that. So with this mindset of continually learning and growing as a photographer and growing my business, and I earn pretty well, and I could pay rent, just not going to do it. And I'm going to move into a vehicle because many times I travel to resort towns. I was in Winter Park, which is about 2 hours from where I live. Was in Winter Park. I would have preferred to stay there, but because I'm in the VA program, I have to actually come back to town at night, and my vehicle's down. Soon, I have an appointment with a specialty shop that's going to fix the things that are wrong with my front end. Soon as that's taken care of and I'm mobile again, well, I'm out of the VA program and back on to doing what I'm doing, which is living in a vehicle, saving for a van, preparing for the winter, and developing multiple streams of income, because I would prefer to stay in Winter Park for a few days, farm the area, build relationships with clients, potential clients, listen to a jazz festival playing in downtown Winter Park, instead of having to always run from one side of town to another, and because of the VA program. So that just happens to be where I'm at right now. But multiple streams of income and living in a car, it can be done. Later on, I'll show you how I do it. How do I edit? How do I upload photos? How do I work and earn all this income while living in a car? It's very interesting. Very interesting. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I thought I'd talk a little bit about it today.